And we are live here today on oh gosh, I don't think I even completed this thing right. the Network Marketing Insider, it's number 217 on this 29th day of January 2016. I do want to apologize for a couple of things here right out of the gate. Number one, for my lack of enthusiasm here. Which leads me into number two, which is why we weren't here on last Wednesday. I attended a Get Motivated seminar, all day long seminar, and apparently I picked up some kind of a bug there. By late afternoon, I was starting to get cold, the chills. I couldn't get warm. Had about 2 hours left to go in the seminar, and I'm freezing to death sitting there. I thought maybe that the AC, because some people had left the room, there was less people in the room. Maybe they just hadn't adjusted the AC, and it was getting colder, colder. But then, by the time it was time to leave, and I got and well, maybe about an hour before that, I started getting that taste in the back of your throat. I started to feel a little achy, and I started thinking, oh man, I feel like I'm getting sick. And sure enough, by the time I got up to walk out of there, I was weak and achy and freezing, and went out to the car and cranked up the heater and drove home. The only way I could get home was to crank that heater up in, Phoenix. The Phoenix evening, which wasn't warm at all, or wasn't cold at all, and but the only way I could get home was to crank up that heater, get home, and warm up and have a quick little bite of soup and crawl into bed. And very interesting, weird kind of a cold. I felt like I went through the whole entire flu symptoms in one night. Started out with the aches and pains and the chills, turned into the fever and the sweating, which turned into just sort of that weak, really weak, need to sleep stage. And I kind of felt like I was going to feel okay yesterday when I got up, but that wasn't the case. In fact, I didn't even get up. Slept pretty much straight through until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But with that, so we missed Wednesday because of attending that event. Get Motivated. Les Brown was the headline speaker. There was a number of other people there who spoke, and some very interesting stuff. Had a good time till the last couple hours, but so that's why I'm a little subdued today. So with that, I skipped the normal intro that we have. I don't know if John, if you're on or not. It looks like you're muted right now. Just letting everybody know that you're here. Say hey.
Hey.
Oh, he is here.
I'm trying to. There we go. I just sat down and knocked over an entire 16-ounce coffee all over my desk and paperwork. So I muted myself and my microphone so you didn't have to hear the words flying out of my mouth live on the internet here.
Oh, well, we appreciate it.
Discombobulated for the moment, and a lot of luckily, I usually keep my Own Your Life Plan book that we discuss on New Op Days on my desk, and luckily it wasn't there. So at least that fantastic book and the Own Your Life Plan book didn't get ruined.
Yeah.
Go for my kids' coloring books. So thanks for having me on the Hangout, Paul. I'm sorry I'm a little bit lost. I didn't really catch too much of what you were saying there in the beginning, but it is Freedom Friday, so man, we could talk about anything today. So I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to you, kind of get the ball rolling a touch here, and let me get up to speed with you guys.
Oh, just letting everybody know about, oh, God, a pain in my chest. I'll just let everybody know about why I'm such a weird-looking bump on the log today, and why we weren't here on Wednesday attending the Get Motivated seminar all day on Wednesday. And interesting thing about the seminar, like I said, a lot of interesting stuff. And I've attended some seminars. I'm not a seminar junkie. I don't go to a lot of them, but I do like to go to them every now and then. I think it's a real good way to help you stay motivated. The interesting thing, I mean, even though this particular seminar is called Get Motivated, those people can't motivate you. They don't motivate you. They can inspire you to build upon your motivation, but the only person on this planet that can motivate you is you. You're the one who motivates you. And the funny thing about the seminars, I always thought this was kind of hokey pokey stuff. Sorry, weird ass pain in my chest. But I always thought this was kind of hokey pokey stuff. But every one of the speakers always gets up there and they always kind of like tell you their story. And I was, all the time that I've ever gone to seminars before, I was always kind of like, oh yeah, well, you've got lots of money and you've made it and you've done all these things, great. Who really cares about your story? And I realized finally at this seminar here today, or the other day, that they're not telling their story for my benefit. They're telling their story for their benefit because that's what motivates them. Okay, they all tell their story because that's how they get motivated. And that's what I was trying to say is they can't motivate you, only you can motivate you. And where you get motivated, what motivates you is your story. Who you are, where you came from, what you wanted, how you got there, all those things that, created your, the reason why you wanted all those things, the roadblocks that you had to go through to get all those things, whatever the case is. Maybe you're not even all the way to the end of that story. Maybe you're in the middle somewhere of, the roadblocks that you're going through right now. But that whole thing about who you are, where you come from, why you want to have something different and what you're doing about it and how you're going about doing it, that's your story. That's your motivation. And that's what I pulled out of this Wednesday event was the fact that, what? I can go to all these events I want, and none of them are ever going to motivate me until I sit down with it. What this event taught me to do is to take some time to sit down and really hone in and create and perfect what my story is so that I can look at my story over and over again and continue to build upon the desire that I have for something more in this life. That's what I got out of it.
I got a lot of it out of it too. I attended this same event with Paul. I agree 100% what Paul says. And you know what? It's in the name of this seminar, Get Motivated. It's not saying we're motivating you. It's telling you, get motivated. Well, who's going to get you motivated? You have to get yourself motivated. That's so true. All someone can do is inspire you, encourage you. But you've got to take the bull by the horn, so to speak, and just do it on your own. No one's going to make that step for you. You have to make that step for yourself. And I'm not a seminar junkie either. However, I do enjoy going to a couple of these things every so often because you're surrounded by a lot of like-minded people, first of all, in the room, which is a very important thing, is to think about the people that you're surrounded with regularly, because that really does affect you. If you're surrounded by a bunch of broke people and all your friends are broke, chances are you're broke too. If you think you're a positive person, yet you find yourself always hanging out with negative people, it's like having the ugly house in the worst neighborhood. If you're hanging out with negative people, chances are you're a negative person. Otherwise, you wouldn't be attracted to that group of people. And if you realize that and you don't want to be a negative person, you seek out a group of positive individuals to hang out with. What I got out of the event was I love being in a room with people that are all all self-motivators, inspired, and really getting excited about the words that the speakers are saying up on stage, and just being able to network in a large event like that and talk to different people and hear other people's story of what they're doing. It's quite awesome. And I would say, unfortunately, that was a day that it was a Wednesday, and I'm at the point still with the wholesale business and my network marketing business. I threw that in because we're actually not talking about wholesaling. I had to take a lot of phone calls, so I did miss a significant portion of the event. However, one of my favorite speakers that blew me away was the guy that was on he wasn't the one right before Les Brown. And I can't remember his name. He was a real estate agent. I think his last name was Hopkins.
I think it was Robert Hawley, wasn't it? Or
I think it was Tom Hopkins.
Tom Hopkins, that's it, yeah.
And he's an author, and he's a local real estate guy here in Phoenix. And as an agent, he did 364 sales in a year. That's pretty much one a day, taking off one day. He didn't sell a house on Christmas. That's amazing. And just to go to a seminar, to hear someone with that kind of accomplishment speak, especially if you're like in real estate or any sales thing, for someone to close that many sales in a year is unstinking freaking believable. I was blown away by that guy. And so, why are we talking about this on Freedom Friday? I think it's important to seek out personal development and not become a seminar junkie, because what happens to a lot of people is they go to a whole bunch of seminars and they think that just because they're attending, they're making some sort of difference in their life, but then they learn and they hear all these great things and then they never put any of it into action. I don't know if they're expecting these, like through the process of osmosis, that just by being there, that somehow it's going to make them successful. No, you got to motivate yourself. Events like this are meant to just inspire you, further your thinking, expand your network, but it's really up to you to take action on the things you learn at this sort of a thing. And I think this is a perfect thing to talk about on Freedom Friday, because taking action and steps towards fulfilling your goals and desires is the only thing that's going to bring you real freedom in your life. Is just having the ability to take actions and create that.
So just in case you guys are wondering, I'm still looking for 5 really serious people who want to make a whole bunch of money in the next few years. So if that's the case, let me know. If you think that's you, let me know. That's there it is right there. That's network marketing. That's all you got to do. Tell people, hey, I'm looking for 5 people who want to do what I'm doing and make serious money in the next 5 years or the next few years. And if you're serious about it, if you think you're the right one, if I can count on you, let's get going. So that's just a little piece that I picked up, not at the seminar, actually. I picked that up last Tuesday at our meeting that we attend, which is also a sort of a motivational meeting, I guess you would call it, but it's more of a rehash of the thinking process that you need to adapt in order to create your own motivation and take the action that you need to move forward and accomplish something in your life. So that's kind of what our Tuesday meeting is, and that Wednesday meeting. And like I said, the interesting thing about it is what John was saying there. Tom Hopkins, he was awesome. Really just talking about a lot of different tools that he used for closing people, which was really, really inspirational. And, everybody was sort of inspirational to a point. Obviously, 2/3 of the people there were, selling a product. Obviously, that's what these things are all about. I don't know. How many people would you say were there, John? 1,500 maybe, something like that?
Could have been at least. Yeah. It was a pretty big event. And you know what? That's actually a small event for a Les Brown, believe it or not.
Yeah, so you figure, maybe there was 1,500 people there. They probably sold about 5. They sold maybe 5 or 6 products. They probably made about 10 grand a pop on each one, and on each one of them probably made about 10 grand a pop, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on what the price was and how many people there. But, that was $50,000 that flew through that room, that transferred hands from one person to another on that day. And,
I say at least, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not saying anything against that. We bought one of the products, but we bought one of the products because it fits along with our real estate business and what we're doing, and the fact that we end up with a lot of excess stuff and we can sell it on eBay. Hey, well, why not pick up a little program that helps us sell it on eBay? So for $50, I'll take that. But because I don't know anything about eBay. I don't know about you, John. I don't know shit about eBay. So if I can learn how to do eBay for $50, I'm all in.
100%. I've bought a lot of stuff off eBay over the years. And what really interested me, though, to really wanted to slap my $50 down was the fact that he says eBay, he has a system for marketing, network marketing businesses on eBay, and it's all part of the 2.5-day training. You know, typically, just, you know, an FYI, a lot of you guys might not go to a lot of seminars like this. Typically, this was a free event, and when you're there, it's free because they're going to sell you things while you're there.
Some people actually paid to be there, too.
What's that?
Some people actually paid to be there.
Some people actually did pay to be there. So then I know once you buy into the next event, they're likely going to sell you even more at the next one. You know, that's where they make the big sales. But don't let that deter you from going to these, because honestly, you're under no obligation to buy anything. And there's a goal, even in the sales pitch. A good sales guy at these kind of events, in my opinion, is someone that the reason you want to buy what they have is because before you even slap your money down on the table, they've already given you value and enough gold nuggets to kind of inspire you really to get up to the back of the room and, you know, purchase whatever product it is. You know, this eBay thing, what really attracted me to that was how it's going to play into our real estate business. The value that the guy was offering, the fact that the money's getting donated to charity, and that he said there is no other products. Like, this is it. You're coming to actually just learn my system in 2.5 days for doing eBay. And it's a little bit more than that, because eBay is really a simple thing, and you can go on there yourself and put stuff on there. But he has like elements and ways he does it, which, you know what? Learn from someone who's done the business for years. And sometimes you got to pay for an education. You know what? He was showing us some of his students that have spent $50 to get into his program and earn more than they would at a $10 an hour job relatively quickly, and are able to do something from home. You know, listen to people like that. I bring that up because a good network marketing organization is relatively cheap to get into. And then once you buy into your organization and you like the product, so you're sharing it, you have that opportunity to make money with network marketing. But more so, you have the opportunity to be mentored by your upline. And that's a really strong, powerful thing. So dropping that $50 too, I looked at it as another opportunity, because he mentioned that stuff about how you can use it for network marketing and affiliate marketing. And I see value in that, because I'm sure Paul and I, when we go to this, are going to be able to really have some awesome stuff to share here with you guys on these Hangouts. So
yeah, exactly. That was definitely, I forgot about that piece too. That was definitely a plus with the eBay package. But yeah, where I was going with that was that, you know, like I said, they're definitely going to be selling products. They're definitely there to make some money. That's what they put these things on for. Like John said, you know, they definitely, if there's anything that they do get you motivated for, it's that they do get you motivated to get up out of your seat and go spend some money while you're there. They can definitely do that. But that's kind of what's cool. I mean, you know, you're in sales. You know, it doesn't matter what you're doing in this lifetime. You're in sales. You got to sell yourself to your wife. You got to sell yourself to your kids. You got to sell yourself to your boss. You know, you're in sales in this world, and just being in these guys' presence who have these, you know, sure, they have a very polished and highly scripted presentation, but the more you get around that stuff, the more you hear that stuff, the more that stuff kind of rubs off on you. You know, that can help you have a more polished and sort of presentation for other people around you, and just you know, it's going to help you. I mean, there's stuff that rubs off in there that you're just naturally going to pick up on, which is really cool. And but like here again, you know, just getting back to the whole idea of getting motivated. It's funny because there was, I don't know, what, 6 or 7 or 8 speakers that got up there. And like I said, they all told their story, you know, started out and told their story, some shorter, some longer. And they're all talking about this being a get motivated thing, but never once throughout the whole thing did they really come out and say, you know, what we just said here, that, you know, the only motivation that you can create is what that comes from within yourself, and it comes out of your own story and your why. Why do you want all this in the first place? Those two things, that's where you build your motivation from. And they never say that. You know, they kind of allude to it and all that sort of stuff, and they never come right out and say, you know what, go home, create your freaking story, and figure out why you want this, and use that to drive your motivation. Nobody ever just says that. I don't know why that is. So anyway, with that, John, we're here at the 20-minute mark. Why don't you throw in the last few comments and let's wrap this one up today.
Just to kind of throw in my last 2 cents about, going to seminars and just wrap up a little bit of what we were talking about here is one of the things we all have to acknowledge, whether we're in network marketing, whether we own our own business, whether we work for a company telemarketing, whether we work for a company as a salesman, sharing and distributing the products for a company, or we're the guy, the cook, or the cashier. We are all in sales. Every single person out there is in sales, whether they realize it or not. And you're in sales, not just in your business, but in your personal life too. What do you think it is when a guy, courts a woman? I don't even know if guys court girls anymore. It seems like you go on one date, you're in bed and you're an item and you're getting married and it fails. Not that that's my experience, but maybe a little. And you're in sales. You're selling yourself to everyone you come in contact with. So it's a very important thing to realize. And the best way to learn how to be better at something is by studying it, reading a book. But it's not just studying; it's actually applying some techniques and learning tips and tricks and actually applying that stuff to real life. We have another hangout we do after this one for our real estate business, and I would certainly encourage you guys who watch us on here to watch the real estate one too, because a lot of what we talk about here and a lot of what we talk about with the real estate, it all crosses over because it's all about becoming better at people skills. And that's really what one of the most important thing is here with network marketing is to sharpen your people skills. And I bring this up because, what is it about going to these events? A lot of people are turned off because they know that there's going to be speakers selling their products. But I say, you don't have to buy it. You don't even have to like what they're selling. But what you do when you go to this event is you're learning and observing. And one key piece that I got out of this event is, wow, oh wow, do I need to sharpen my sales skills? Because not even just my presentation skills, my talking skills. And these guys aren't up on the stage getting people to run to the back room to buy from them because they woke up yesterday and decided that they were going to sell something. These guys have spent, years studying, practicing, putting into action, being mentored these skills. And what's awesome about that is everything that those guys are doing is learnable. And if you just have the drive and the desire, you could be up on stage having 1,000 people run to the back room to buy your product. You know what? You don't need to be that person to be in network marketing. I bring this up because you can learn a lot just by going to events and observing how great salespeople work their magic and mimic them, copy what they're doing. And as Paul and I always say in network marketing, we encourage cheating. You're telling someone about the business and you don't have the answer. Get the answer from your upline. Crack open the Own Your Life Plan book and read it verbatim to your prospect right out of the book. You're not a good artist and you can't draw those napkin presentations. Open up the book and show them in the book. I mean, just mimic what successful
photo copies and just pull them out, whatever.
So, that's kind of it. I'm going to go ahead and just say the Napoleon Hill prayer, which is, "O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches that have been given to me at birth through the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I may desire." So with that, have a great Freedom Friday. We'll see you all back here on New Op Day, where we're really excited to dig deeper into the Own Your Life Plan book.
And hopefully I'll be feeling a whole lot better. Adios.